I'll let him say that. Testing 1, 2, 3 for YouTube. Is it coming through? You got audio coming through? Let me go to Aaron Richmond YouTube and see if I can hear Aaron Richmond YouTube. All right, Aaron Richmond. All right. How's the? Do I need to bring the mic closer or back it off? Are you hearing good or?
Your gain is fine. Yeah. Okay. Just one moment though.
Yeah, I'm just checking to make sure all the audios are phenomenal here. Phenomenal. Okay, share screen. Share screen's gonna be up. All right.
Okay. Now I am ready. So here we go with that. Okay.
I see you. Oh wow, we look alike.
So here we go. Okay. So we are okay. So we
Okay,
are,
you can
let's
start
see
your
here.
intro whenever you're ready.
Okay, good. So we're live now in 3, in 2, and 1. Welcome. Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Aaron's Opinion, podcast for blind people
Oh crap, medicine.
where we speak about critical issues in the blindness community and all other issues from across the universe and galaxy. Tonight's guest, Simon Bell, joins us. Why don't you get into talking about your life story? Who is Simon Bell? Go ahead, and then we'll work towards the Zapstec stuff and all that type of radio stuff. So go ahead, dig into the conversation. Go. Your hour starts now.
Thank you for having me. This is DJ Techman, also known as Simon Bell from Zapstec.net. I want to thank Aaron Richmond for inviting me to his show.
Always welcome here.
And first off, okay, we have a radio person connecting. Hello. Welcome to the stream. So, take it away, Aaron.
Well, where I would like you to begin is to, talk about your life journey. How did you, where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Have you been blind your whole life? What we can of course talk about Zapstack and how you developed your company, but we have to kind of build a foundation. So, what can you
Okay.
tell me about those types of things?
Okay, so Zapstec, or now my life started in February 14 of 1989, and I was born in Altoona Hospital. My mom, Simon Sr., and Anita they had a small baby boy, Nick, and we started. It was a interesting. I went to school. Went to school and had some. Went to school and I had got my education and during that time before I was even like we got our first computer. It was one of them computers that started up, and I don't know if you've ever heard of them before, but it went whenever it started up. You remember the old creative days?
Vaguely. So I was born in
Aaron?
1991. So I'm a couple years younger than you. Yeah.
And we played all sorts of games on that computer. There was Math Rabbit. There were snow numbers. Math Rabbit was pretty interesting. It was like a math for young people. Like they had Math Rabbit. I even have a full like CDs under my bed that we had Game Pack. Internet connection is unstable. You still got me? It said my internet's unstable.
I still got you. So you played all these games on your computer? Yes.
Okay, I have all sorts of different. I played all sorts of different games on my computer. The first flight simulator, Carnivores, Jeff Gordon. We had uh, we had a game called Outlaws. It was a cowboy game. All sorts of different things. This was not before the first computer. The first computer had Math Rabbit, and it didn't have very much space. But back in the time, it was a good amount of space to be had for a computer with a CRT and the Sound Blaster technology. Are you familiar with Sound Blaster?
I am not. Why don't you tell the audience what that is?
So
Mm-hmm.
Sound Blaster was like a very old. Hey Siri, give me information on Sound Blaster.
Here's some information.
Blaster was a creative technology sound brand of sound card. It had auto peripherals signed Singaporean technology creative company. And you can find more information on that on their Wikipedia page. So
okay,
after
good.
after that, we moved that computer to my grandparents' house. My grandma needed a computer at the time, and we got a better computer. They had a lot more RAM and specs to play high-end games at the time, like Carnivores, Crossfire. There was a old game called Flight Simulator, the first one. These were all old computer games. And the Deer Hunter screen. And there was a Deer Hunter for the computer as well.
Excellent. So, by the way, Simon, have you been blind since birth? When did you become blind, by the way? And I was born blind with glaucoma.
So, as for me, I was blind at birth. I have partial sight in my left eye. I can see you pretty good. You're wearing a red shirt and you got headphones on and you're smiling at the cam. So sometimes sometimes uh sometimes I have to look at stuff close, like if someone hands me like a piece of paper with writing on it. Now, whenever I type, I usually type at a 24 size font so I can see the screen. What I have is a flat screen TV for the computer monitor. And I have all my apps on my console, Xbox gaming console, the Apple TV, and I even play some virtual reality, which we will cover.
Excellent. Very good. So, yeah, let's talk about virtual reality. That's something that I don't really get into, but of course, I know what it is. I've heard of it. So, what can you tell our audience about virtual reality?
Reality is I've actually can see like better in virtual reality than in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I got I put that thing on. I'm like, oh, I mean, I recommend uh, anyone has anything about virtual reality, play a game called different type of games like the art chat. Maybe you'd like to be a part of the art chat. But your podcast, the art chat, stand mic, and then people would actually come and watch live, and then if you had questions, they'd be able to talk live, and then you could record with your have your podcast in there. You have your own studio. I used to do that. A it was a member, and it have
Mm-hmm.
podcasting. I had a broadcasting room in there. A I had a video ball, and it was going to Twitch. So our audio that's coming from the radio side going from here to the radio station, which you and I and we had five listeners total. Right.
Simon, I'm really sorry, but your audio quality, your connection is very poor.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I
Testing
can.
one, two, three.
Yeah, now I can. You need to come over to your microphone, okay? So let's
All
go
right.
back. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, it's really important to be able to project into the microphone the right way. Some of these microphones are very sensitive. So we were talking about virtual reality, and I said something about that I want to learn more about. So I didn't really understand your answer about virtual reality. You said something, but please repeat what you said about virtual reality. Mm-hmm.
I have several different apps that me and a couple of my buddies use called VR Chat. I recommend that to you as a podcaster because I'm thinking that if you have like more interaction in like a VR chat setting, you'll be able to like come on with your computer sort of like this, and you will be able to interact with them via computer. I have to talk to you about that more.
That sounds very interesting. So it's like VR chat, it's like a virtual app for virtual reality that might be applicable in the podcast space, you're saying, right?
Yes, yes, or
That's
just
very
playing and
interesting.
having a good time. You can fly airplanes. You can. I've flown airplanes. I've rode wave runners. I've even jumped out of an airplane. It's very immersive, so to speak.
Well, that's incredible. That's really good. I think there's a lot of uses to this
A lot of
virtual
potential.
maybe if we use it the right way. It definitely. Hmm. So, Simon, another question that I have, in addition to everything else you've talked about, which is very good. What about what did you study in university, by the way?
I didn't go to college. I was in. I did grade school, and then I went straight to public school.
That is
So
fine.
I
That is
didn't do any
fine.
college,
Hmm.
and this comes up to I was studying the simple maths. I took swimming in high school. I was in a chorus.
Hmm.
I was. I do a little. We have a program. Let's stay on topic. For school, I did the grade school up through high school.
Hmm. Good. That is fine. So then, after high school, at some point in your life, you really became interested in internet radio, right?
Yes,
What can
and
you
we will
tell
get to
me?
that.
So let's get into it. What can you tell me about your interest in internet radio?
Okay, so this goes like right before like me and my buddy Wally Zapatosny. I give him a shout out here on your show. Zap, you've been great to me. Really good friend, best friend of mine, a really good friend. Shout out to Wally Zapatosny for that, married man. And so we decided, what were we gonna do? Two graduates out of high school. What in 2007 we decided to make a website for technology. It was under the name techforum.ipbfree.com, and you could make your own forum. It was very bland at the time, and it had basic stuff like we had computer and hardware, and you can go and look at this on archive.net or archive.com rather. If you go there, type in techforum.ipbfree.com, and there will be a timeline there for you to see. So, and so we, the radio, which I was getting to, I'll tie that all in. So we started the radio station back in 2009. I did my first attempt with this. So I had this old DV7 laptop, about like real Windows XP it was, and I wanted to do a radio station. I'd give it a shot. So I decided to come on, listen to my radio. No experience whatsoever. All I had was a crappy headset, and they sounded like uh like
Come on over to
we
your
were
microphone
my
again.
home network.
Come closer to your microphone. Okay. So
How's this?
that's where I need you to be.
How's this?
You need to be very close to that microphone. Okay. Thank you. So good. So you started listening to internet radio and things like that. Okay. And then one of the things that I'm trying to understand is what really inspired you to start your own station. You know, it's most, or I don't want to say most, but a lot of the audio material now is in podcast format. I mean, internet radio is making a comeback, but you know what inspired you to get into the internet radio space initially?
Well, I was thinking about what could we do to help promote Zapstick. And so what I did, or what we did, was me and my buddy Wally, as I gave the shout out to earlier, I said to him, I was like, why don't we got to do something, because like we need like something to bring listeners and people into the site. And we're not a monetized company. We are for the sole purpose of people to come in, make a free account, share their love for tech. So I decided to come and I decided to start with the radio station idea. So the first radio station link that I came up with, it was Zaps Tech Forum Radio, Zaps Technology Forum Radio, and it was under the name. Oh man, I forget what it was. It was like Radio Net something, Radio Net Techman. Listen to my radio.com. It was like a really weird, like sort of thing, but it took us over to listen to my radio, and we only had one listener at the time. We get people popping in and out of the radio station, check us out. And I'd like to get like a constant listener base. So we have like people can come and go as they please. And we put it on several different aggregators. Well, wait, let me back up for a bit. Well, the first radio station didn't go so hot because there was this person, not mentioning any names, coming on and said that I sounded like a diabetic whale on the microphone, which was not very nice. And then, oh man, hello, check, check.
Yes. Uh-huh. And then?
And and we had some a lot of obstacles we had to come through. So he didn't want me broadcasting. The person didn't want me broadcasting. So this guy, I'm not mentioning any names, he came onto my computer and decided to take all my music away because he didn't want me to broadcast. Because he said he was the owner of Zapstec Forum Radio, or Zap Technology Forum Radio at the time, but I was the right person for it and such. So he came on and took my music away from me. But then, after that, I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm quitting for a while, lay low for a bit. And then there was not a Zapstec radio thing for a while until that fateful day of back when COVID hit. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start up Zapstec Radio again. So I started it under the name of Zapstec Beacon Lodge Radio. And it was I was just messing with it. I didn't really get into it until I got sent home from camp because I had a kidney transplant. And with the COVID outbreak, they sent me home because I didn't want to because my immunity was not the best. And so I get home and I'm like, I call up my buddy, my co-host, Radio Guy 1994. You might know him as Preston Gaylor. And I call up and I'm like, hey, Radio Guy, come here. I got something to show you. And I give him the link, and he's astonished at what I'm doing. He comes on and he's like, "Oh my God, we got to tell people about this." I'm like, "You're sure? You're right, we do." And we started putting the radio station on several different aggregators worldwide. And I'm sure you want to hear it on. I think our Radio Guy reminded me that you wanted it on stream on our Radio Garden, I think is what it was.
Correct. Thank you. Exactly. That's the radio app that I would go to, Radio Garden.
It's a really sweet app. And we have, we play, this is a radio station that has a little of everything. Talk, tech, it has music, it has, like, we can even play movies. Like, if we want to listen to a movie, like, for example, one time I played the movie Scream. We played Scream 1 on it for Halloween. You're probably wondering how, and you're probably wondering how this is all achieved. Well,
I
I'm going to
am.
tell you.
Well, I was wondering that, so why didn't you tell us? Go ahead.
So we have, and I noticed, and I heard on the last broadcast, I heard you wanted a Discord server. I was thinking that we could rent a couple rooms out to you for free. We're not going to charge you anything. We're going to give you a couple rooms on the Discord server for your podcasting, and I think that you would enjoy that. But the Discord server, we have ZTMR Studio, and what it is we have this bot in there as we speak right now, and as you can see, there's a bot in this live queue right now, which is coming from taking the audio and going right into the bot and then going out to our IceCast server from Listen to My Radio using a encoder called BUTT, B-U-T-T. And it's an open source program. You can put the type of the broadcast, and as you can see, or as you can probably tell, I'm going to go to the page now. I'll tell you what it has. Listener stats. Oops, I want to pull up the mix. So we have our Zapstec Media Radio, and it'll tell us what's playing right now. It says Zapstec Media Radio. The episode is Aaron's Opinion with Aaron Richmond as the current stream name. Now we can change that to anything that at the time when we're broadcasting through the BUTT encoder.
Right. Okay. And so then that would give you information about how many live listeners you have on your station at this moment, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As well as, and so I decided to take it one step further. As you know, the holidays are coming up. We have a lot of these radio stations, like take Sirius XM Holiday Traditions, for example. They have a phone line that people can leave holiday wishes on. And so I decided my tech buddy, Tyler, who's letting me rent a Valtor server. That's what the radio station is on. Valtor is broadcasting the Aaron's Opinion podcast right now, as well as Zapstec Media Radio, and I decided to have what they call the Z line. Now the Z line.
Go ahead.
Now the Z line is like the call in for the actual radio station. Now if you go and if you call this number 814-514 4063 814-514-4063. Long distances charges may apply, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're in the US, you can call this number, or in Canada, and you'll be able to be a part of the broadcast, or you could go on Discord and announce right into our dedicated server bot, which I'm doing right now.
Excellent.
Well, this is so you're probably wondering how we're getting the music. We're using YouTube. We're using the fair use policy. We're not. It's not our own. We're just using it for entertainment purposes. Same with the movies, and we even have our own jingles that we're working on, and I would appreciate it if you would make a Aaron's Opinion jingle for it down the line. If you want to, you can. I could just record it on. You could just record it, and then you have my email. You could just send it to me, and then we can upload it to the server. So
In other words, you would want a sound bite from me where I say what you're listening to, and then I say what the podcast is called, and I would say on Zab's Tech Media Radio, right?
yeah, you would be promoting your podcast on my stream.
Right. So you would like, okay. So yeah, we can do, so you would like a sound bite in other words, a sound bite to be
Yes.
played. Right, right. Which means that my hope is that you have the ability and the desire to download Aaron's opinion each time I release a new episode, right?
We can play them on. We can play them on our own time. We can
Mm-hmm.
play those whenever whenever we every day is different. Your radio, it could be a talk show, which you're hearing right now, or it could
Mm-hmm.
be music mixture of talk, movie, tech show, tech review, etc., etc. So, which is which our goal for Zapstech and Zapstech Media Radio. It's all about sharing the love and the joys of technology, as well as weather broadcasting. We do like tomorrow. We'll be doing We'll be doing our own weather test on the radio station. So it will happen at hello.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It will happen at 11 p.m.
Very good.
And
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
all right, so can you have a little voice? I gotta go to my medicine for my kidney transplant. Can you do some voicing while I take this? I have to.
Absolutely.
Commercial break.
Okay, that is fine. No worries. Definitely, you need to go take your medicine. Here, let's here RCL. I wonder who specifically joined. Let's see here. No, didn't want to do that. No. So RCL, if you guys want to unmute and come up to the microphone, you can. I just told the system to unmute you. But
Hello,
that
Aaron. This is Preston here. I'm logged into our backup or one of my backup accounts.
I had a feeling it was you. Yes, of course. So how's it going over there? Let's I'll let you entertain the audience while Simon goes to take his meds. So
Yes,
what's going on?
things are going well over here. We're just
Good.
wrapping up trick or treating. We actually had our candy out by our driveway because sometimes when people come up our driveway, they kind of tramp on the rocks a bit.
Ah, indeed. And
But
what did you dress up as this year for Halloween?
actually, my cousin had a party a couple weekends ago, and
Mm-hmm.
I was a blind guy. I had the sunglasses and the nice Halloween sweater slash t-shirt. I went all out.
Very self-deprecating and very interesting. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I was the
All right.
same thing 4 years ago at one of my hangout spots I go to sometimes, and they actually had a costume contest. I won that, and I won a gift certificate. It never expired, but I used it up.
I see. I see. And exactly what was that? What was that gift certificate?
Pretty much you can order anything inside a Delta Pizza, whether if it's like pizza subs, maybe a beer or soda or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
right, I'm back. How you doing, radio guy?
Hello, I'm great. You're doing pretty good so far.
Thank
I'm
you.
impressed.
All right.
So
So go ahead and pick it up
All
from
right,
right there. So one of the things that I would like you to be able to do is I would like to give permission for your station, if you guys want. You guys have my permission now to be able to download my episodes. Anytime you want to stream them, as far as I'm concerned, as long as you push the download button first before you stream my stuff, you guys are welcome to share and stream my content on your servers. Just push download first, though, so that my company can keep track of the download, accuracy and all of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yeah,
yeah,
I
you got
gave
it, bud.
I
Go,
gave
go ahead.
everybody
Go ahead.
the link
Go
and
ahead,
stuff.
Preston. Go ahead, Preston.
Yep, I gave everybody at Zaps Tech your Spreaker link, Aaron. So we're all
Excellent.
good on that.
So that's super good. As long as you download it from the Spreaker link, that is absolutely the best and the most appropriate way to download the content. So that's so good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Sweet. And
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, Simon. Mm-hmm.
okay, as you know, me and radio guy, also known as Preston Gaylor, uh, he had he was really excited whenever I told him about the radio station. So, Preston, can you tell the audience a little more? I don't want to take your show, Aaron, but Preston,
Go
can
for
you
it.
tell the audience a little more about how Zaps Tech Media Radio started?
Yeah, because I really want to. I want to learn about that, and I want to learn more about how internet radio actually works. So go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. So we actually started in July 2022. I know it was probably mid to late July when Simon DJ Techman came over from Beacon Lodge, and I think our first night we did a mix of music. So we actually played maybe some 90s stuff, some 80s stuff. And I think our first day on Discord was probably either that day or that same week. So I believe DJ Techman and we did a test broadcast on Discord and we introduced the station to listeners, what it was. We actually underlined our goals and our dreams for the station. And I know for the first couple days we probably had at least 1 to 3 listeners, but we were only listening to my radio at that point. But I was doing research about various radio streaming directories, also known as aggregators, and I
Yep.
sent him a list. And if I find something, he sent me a link to try out. And if I think that if they're accessible and uh, if they have the right needs we're looking for, which is getting our content out there, we just add it to the aggregator. So we well, we have a lot to keep track of as far as directories, but what I can give you, uh, and I told you this when I was here last, but we're on Listen to My Radio. That's our main one that hosts us. We're also on Get Me Radio, Streama. We're also on the My tu- uh, My TuneIn.
My tuner.
Yeah, My Tuner. We also use TuneU. We also have My TuneIn. We're also on the US Live Radio, UK Live Radio, IE Live Radio. That's online directories. We're also on a service called Stream Meter, and we're
Yep.
definitely being worked on being back on Radio Garden. I actually sent them a request over yesterday, so Monday.
Excellent. Yeah, Radio Garden is, well, outside of iHeart, Radio Garden would be one of the top aggregators for sure, as
Yes,
far as
and we're also on
discoverability.
Receiver Radio too. It's one of my favorite apps that
And
I
I think you're
use.
also on Simple Radio. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, that's Streama.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good.
Simple Radio.
Understood.
The same
Mm-hmm.
thing.
So Exactly what are all of the ingredients of internet radio? I mean, what do you need to do to actually set up one of these stations in the first place?
Okay. Well, me and Preston will take this. I'll start it off. So, like as I said before, we were doing it on a small. We're doing it on my computer to start. Remember that radio guy?
Right.
Yeah, we were doing it on my computer, and we were thinking we would have to say so long, cut the server, kill the stream, end up. But a couple of my friends suggested that I go and look for a server host so we contacted a buddy of mine, Linux Man, also known as Tyler Hotz, and he uses a company called Valtor. And so we rented a server free rent off of him, and like I said, when it was just a solo broadcast with me and Aaron, we downloaded a program called Butt.
Yep. And
And
again, for those that may have tuned in late or are probably replaying this from where they work, But is a stream encoder that you can use with Listen to My Radio, Shoutcast, and I'm sure other streaming services that do radio. You can use that to encode your content. So I have not like took a tour of the program per se, but to my understanding is it'll update in real time, and you can also schedule like when you want to go on or change your uh title streaming. So what title streaming
so it
is
actually no, it's not. It's like whenever, let's say, like whenever whenever I was doing the pre-show with before Aaron invited me to the DJ Aaron Richmond invited me to stream for YouTube and stuff. What I did was I was doing a little pre-show, played a couple music programs, and then I saw him came on, and I kicked out. Went out of Discord, and I said, "Okay, we're going to the Aaron. We'll see on there." And and I put my radio bot in. The Discord went out, put the radio bot in, and now if you go in, you'll probably be able to hear us,
right.
which is really cool. It's always a
And
couple seconds delay. It's not. I want to get like it straight. It's not like live radio, but it is. The Shoutcast or Icecast encoder. It'll take it'll like make a couple snippets. Like it'll like whenever I'm sitting here talking on the mic, it'll take a couple minutes to get to the server, and it'll it'll clip whatever is downloaded, so on and so forth. In terms live broadcast.
yep. And basically as well,
radio.
right. And what's cool about that as well is we don't really like pre-record our stuff. I mean, we may pre-record our imaging and promos and things during the day, but as far as talk shows and things, we do all of them live, and that's why we're pretty active on social media. But this is where our online community site, which I know Simon talked about earlier, called Zaps Tech, comes in. We actually have a radio group on there, but we update members and potential listeners about our broadcast schedule for the day. So I don't know, maybe let's say Thursday we want to do a show on UFOs or cord cutting.
Yes, or if I want to re-air this episode, from Aaron's opinion, I'll go to Spreaker and download it, upload it to the server, bam, it's on the radio station.
Yep.
Now, if you would like to, Aaron, I could trustworthy. Could let you take a look at the radio, take a look at it, see.
So Simon, it's still your Preston. Is his audio coming in strange? Is his audio coming in strange, or is it my imagination? What's going on with his audio, Preston?
Hello.
It might be from one of his mics. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So let's
hear me?
It's nothing personal. Now we can hear you, man, but I have to be able to hear you a little better. So go back and repeat what you said, please, about if you want something trustworthy. I didn't quite get it.
If you want to take a look at the radio system, check it out. I'll give you access to it if you want to. I'll just put some screen reader software on it for you and you can test it out. See if it's you would like to do as far as podcasting, if you want to actually host a online radio station, or if you want to have a slot, with us, you can actually do a broadcast. And here's the thing, radio guy, he wanted to have a Discord server. Why don't we let him use ours?
Yeah, that way he can expand his presence. We can expand our presence.
Yes.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea either.
I do have my server for my podcast already, but yeah, if you guys want to give me another server, another place to post my episodes, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. I will have Techman or Tyler take care of that because, well, I'm not into coding, but it's a team effort.
Okay, well, maybe. So either one of them can reach out to me at some point and maybe go over how it works and see if that's something I want to do. I don't know, maybe. I mean, it sounds cool. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he'd want to come in here. I think he has Zoom right now.
I actually thought that Tyler joined. It seemed like he
that
joined
was my server.
Mm-hmm.
That's my server. He had it under his account. I changed the name over.
Mm-hmm.
Could I send him an invite, or I'm not sure if you want more guests.
Not at this particular moment. You could have, but that's fine though. Either he or you can get back to me about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We could just talk and talk after the broadcast here on a Facebook if you want. Like
a little bit
people.
A little bit. We can, you know what? We can meet up. We can definitely meet up tomorrow. After the broadcast. Yeah. Okay. After the broadcast, we can reconvene tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I got some other stuff to do and things like that after this show. But all of this sounds really good. You know, it all sounds like it's going in the right direction. And what can you tell me about, you know, where are most of your listeners from though? Are you getting international listeners? You know, what is your audience size and things like that? Mm-hmm.
We had can I tell a funny story on this?
Okay, go ahead. Of course you can. Man,
so I was doing a broadcast yesterday and doing no announcing, no microphone, just throwing some music out into the airwaves, and I see one of my friends come on, and I thought that she was coming on and to announce. So I was like, all right, I'll mute the audio out. So I faded the audio out, and apparently she had her mic on, and she was fighting with her dad.
Yeah, I thought dad or roommate.
And we literally had about 10 listeners. And it went to 12 listeners. Remember, Preston? It went to like 12 listeners, literally.
Yeah.
And it actually have a voicemail. That's all right. this is a really give your this will get your comedic touch as well as a serious broadcaster. We do a lot of fun stuff on our show as well. So here's what happened that day.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Yeah, that's very, very funny. In the podcast space, we hear a lot of serious stories, and then it's always great to hear silly stories about different weird stuff that we hear about.
Yeah, so I'm sure you're familiar with Laura Cornwell.
I am not familiar with that person. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you get a chance, get her to appear on your show. We could probably get her to appear on your show. And
of course.
She works for Blue Streak and is radio guy.
Yes, she works. She's one of the helpers on Blue Streak Radio, and I haven't tuned in a while, but she also helps out on KKMX as well. On Monday.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I known her in the internet radio landscape for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's definitely get her on. Like I was saying, we can talk a little bit more at length later on. But absolutely, any other contacts, I'm always ready to reach out to the next person, and I can never have too many guests. So that's my goal is to find the next person. So yeah, let's.
Can I say my closing remarks?
Of course.
Okay, so as well as doing our own stuff, we let people, which is real nice. I'm like doing this radio station, pumping out the content. It's for Beacon Lodge. It's pretty much anybody's radio station. I mean, like we like to put like different people on. We like to like give airtime like we're doing for you right now.
Thank you.
So we're free of charge. You don't have to pay us. We're doing this out of the kindness of our own heart. Any technology users out there, in Aaron's opinion, can be a part of zapstech.net. Assist, engage, thrive each and every day. And as always, we also do the KMFX broadcast.
KKMX TM.
Oh shit.
So
KMX simulcast TBS Live with DJ Terry and
myself, Preston.
Yo Guy 1994 Preston. Jared Reimer, JaredTechHelp.net. Check him out. Good broadcast. Good people. And as they say on Aaron's Opinion, Aaron's Opinion make a better broadcast tomorrow, something like that. I'll let him say.
Sure. So generally, what we say at the end of an episode of Aaron's Opinion is help one person today, help 1 million people tomorrow.
Right.
Yes. So, as Aaron would say, help one person today, help 1 million tomorrow. And as for that Tech Media Radio, assist, engage, and thrive each and every day.
And that's our tagline. So write it down.
Yeah, right. And I'm an ostrich. We'll get to that later. Anyway, thank you.
You're welcome. So, do you have some, do you have some other questions? I'm sure you have a lot of questions for me. Aaron Richmond, Aaron's opinion. I'm sure there's some things that you want to know about me, man. So, what do you want to know?
Okay, cool. So what started? Okay, Zapstec Media Radio and for your podcast. Okay,
Right.
so it's
Okay.
going out
Hmm.
like so. Me and Preston will take the mics for a few. Okay.
Okay.
So what gave you your drive in becoming a internet broadcaster?
Well, I will tell you that during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of online teaching. And if I was not speaking with a student, I was listening to podcasts around the blindness community. I am someone who has a lot of opinions. Okay. And I found that these other podcasts were just not open to my opinions. And I didn't like that. So I said, well, since I can't shut up, since I can't stop talking, and since I love to talk to people, why don't I just start recording myself talking to people? And I'm someone who grew up with talk radio anyway. So this talk radio has been in my ear my whole life, literally. It really has. Um, so that's one thing. And then I would go onto Facebook and I would see that there was a lot of blind people asking questions about things that we should or shouldn't do, and I would answer a question. Let's say Preston asked me, Aaron, should I start an internet radio station? I would say, Preston. I would record an audio message back to Preston, and I would say, dear Preston, today I'm going to answer your question, except I called it dear listener, and I would say, dear listener, today I'm going to answer your question about blah blah blah. And then over time, it just occurred to me that that's actually a podcast. And I had always wanted to get into podcasting, and I just love talking. So that's how I got into this space in the first place. How does that sound, guys? Preston, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, very good. So what do you think about that, Simon? I cannot hear you at all, man. Come on over to your microphone. I cannot hear you at all. Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you hear me?
Not really.
Hang on one second.
Okay,
Is that better?
a little bit better. A little bit. So what do you think of that?
So you come up with that all on your own, and it's really cool that. Well, here's the thing: we may have be blind or disabilities, but that doesn't don't underestimate the power and knowledge of a blind person. Just because we can't see or have a disability, that does not stop you from doing the things that you love.
Absolutely not. You're very right. Mm-hmm.
So, so, what was the first podcasting? Did you go right to Spreaker, or did you decide to? What was your first podcasting platform? Did you go straight to Spreaker, or how did that start?
Yeah, I had tried a couple of them, but I found that Spreaker is the best one. Spreaker offers the monetization. It's the most robust. It's the most accurate, I find. So that's kind of how I got into this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, so how what? So, what was the? How many downloads? Can I ask that question? How
Mm,
many
well,
how many downloads can you receive on your first shows?
I mean, I'm not really sure. That's kind of unclear, but I mean, at this point, I'm well over 1,000 downloads at this point.
Oh, sweet. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And do you think you have over 1,000 listeners on your station?
Hope to one day.
Right. Well, very good. That is all fine. And what are
We
some?
can actually,
Mm-hmm.
me and Preston will tell you that our we have unlimited listeners on our plan that we have with Listen to My
Mm-hmm.
Radio. So we could have like not get into competition, but we could probably have like a billion if we want to get technical, so to speak.
Well, hey, you gotta take one step in the right direction, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Well,
would you like a account for Zapstec? I'd help you sign up if you like.
well, I think that's very nice of you. I think I can sign up myself at some point here.
All right.
Yeah. But that's really good, man. I will definitely look into this, and I will definitely look into it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Aaron's Journey podcasting group is on our site.
Mm-hmm.
We'll add the Aaron Richmond podcast group on the
Mm-hmm.
site as well.
Right. Right.
So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
do you have an actual website that we could get logos for your group for Zapstec?
I do not I do not so the pot so just to review, when you advertise my show, it's called Aaron's Opinion. Okay. um
Aaron's
and
opinion.
right, so yeah, you can, when you go to the speaker, you'll see what it's called. Yeah, Aaron's Opinion. And I can send you the image that I use. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I actually was whenever we were doing the pre-show for CTMR Zapstec Media Radio, I was actually running it on. I was using the live feed from YouTube
Mm-hmm.
to hear the. Or would you rather us do it through your Spreaker? Would you like us to
Definitely,
play
definitely through the speaker, so that you're getting.
commercial free, or you want us to go through Spreaker? It's up to you.
I would, if you download my stuff, I would like you to download from the Spreaker site that Preston has, because that's the most accurate way of getting my
Okay.
information. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, that all sounds really good. We will definitely, as the days go by, we will definitely keep talking about this and keep working towards our next thing. So anyway, man, if someone wants to get in touch with Simon Bell, how would they do that?
So if someone wants to get in touch with me, DJ
Mm-hmm.
Techman, Simon Bell, they just go to my email, techman@zapstech.net, or they could reach me on the Zapstech site, make their free account. We have a PM system, or they could go to my Facebook, Simon Bell, look for the one that says Zapstech, and that's Zaptech. Anything with Zapstech in there is me. You can also get a hold of me on the VR chat. It is Simon.Hannibal, Hanable .92. You can get me on VR chat. Just look for the neon fox with the blue trench coat, so to speak.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening, whether you're listening on Zabs Media Radio or Aaron's Opinion Podcast or on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening. And that this is going to be a great episode as always. So, Simon, thank you for joining me this evening. Preston, I think you're
Thank
muted.
you. I'm not gonna run out like the last guest.
So Preston from RCL, we couldn't do it without you guys either. So thank you goes out to Radio Connection Live. All right. So thank you, everyone. We'll be back soon. Have a good day. And as we like to say here on Aaron's Opinion, help one person today, help 1 million people tomorrow.
And as we say on Zapstech Media Radio, where we assist, engage, and thrive